everyone, and welcome to my July wrap-up. What am I doing with this finger? I don't know what my hands do sometimes in these videos. At the making of this video, it is the 27th of August, which means there's still 4 more days left of this month, which means I have the potential of finishing 2 more books. So, at this point, I have finished 7 books with the potential of finishing 2 more. That is a lot of books in this month. Can I just say that? A lot. The first book that I have read this month is The Clockwork Syrup by Colleen Gleason. This is a Holmes and Stoker novel. Oh, it's a Stoker and Holmes novel. Pardon me. This book takes place in Victorian England. It's a steampunk Victorian England where electricity is illegal, and the 2 main characters of this story is Mina Holmes, niece of Sherlock Holmes, and Eveline Stoker, who is the sister of Bram Stoker, who wrote the Dracula book. The 2 of them are put together to solve a mystery, a case of some missing girls, some socialite girls, and they've gone missing or they've shown up dead, and so these 2 characters have to come together to figure it out, and has to do with the scarab and some Egypt mythology and things. I liked the concept of this book, but it was very problematic in the character development wise. There was a lot, can I say just a lot of character rivalry between the 2 girls. I think this book would have been a lot better if the 2 girls just got along. Seriously, I don't know why there's such rivalry between them. Like, I don't understand. I'm going to be giving the second book a try, and if I don't like that one either, I'm not going to continue on with the series. But I felt like there was one of them, like the mystery men. There was like 3 mystery men, and one of them I felt like, if you saw my top 5 characters who deserve their own storyline series thing, one of them was Ambrose Grayling, which I think could have been like a main character if he was given a chance. Really? That was my cat. Oh, lay down. What happened to you sleeping 18 billion hours a day, okay? I gave this a 3 out of 5, I think, or 2.5 to 3 stars, I think, is what I set this at. It was very meh for me. The next book I finished, I actually don't know where it is, and that is my anthology of Blood and Other Cravings, which is a story all about vampires. I finally finished it. Go me. So yes, I don't even know where it is. I didn't really enjoy it. It was like maybe the last story was like a little bit intriguing, but they were not like typical vampire stories. They were like, I'm gonna drain the life energy out of you kind of thing. Like, I understood where they're coming from, taking different types of vampires, but it was okay. But I gave the anthology a 1 out of 5 just because I found it extremely boring. The next book I read was Magana by Maria de Vanna Hadley. Her 3 names, okay? Jeez. This book is of the main character Azza, as she finds throughout her entire life, her history is hospitals. She's got respiratory problems, she finds it hard to breathe a lot, and it's just a matter of time before, you know, her lungs give up. So she finds that she's been starting to hear things and possibly hallucinate, and this might be part of her sickness, but she's not so sure, and she, you know, expires and wakes up in Magana. She finds herself on a ship and discovers that she's actually from this world up in the sky that, you know, people don't know about, and she has to deal with being this new person and leaving the people that she left behind. And I really enjoyed the character development of this story. The relationships between Azza and her best friend slash person she would want to be with, Jason, There are a lot of chapters from Jason's point of view as well, so I think those two are the main characters, which I enjoyed. Also, this book also featured an LGBT couple, which Jason has 2 moms, so I found that very awesome. I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars. I would have given it a 5 out of 5, but there was something about the world of Magana that was just odd to me, and I found myself bored with it. I connected more with Azza when she was down on Earth than I did with her up in the sky. The next book I picked up is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I really like this book. I can tell you right now, I gave it 5 out of 5 because I've heard a lot of great things about the Grisha trilogy, and I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. And so I picked this book up and I read it, and it was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. The main character, Lena, she's so like, I just really, really liked the world. I liked the relationships. I don't get people's fascination for the Darkling, but I'm going to put my reserves on hold until I read the other 2 books, because, you know, who knows what happens in those books, because people have read those books. I haven't. He did seem too good to be true at the beginning, I'll just say that much, but I really love the world. I love the Russian cultural feel to it. It's something very different than what you usually see in fantasy books. I was not expecting that at all, so I really liked it. I cannot wait to read Siege and Storm and then Ruin and Rising. Next, I picked up Reboot by Amy Chintera. This is a book I started a year ago, and I just wanted to finish it because it was on my did not finish book list, and I don't like books that I don't want to leave things unfinished, so I picked it up. I like the concept of the book. What it is that it's kind of like post-apocalyptic almost, but there's this disease that's going around. If you die, you have the ability to come back like a zombie, but like totally conscious. And the longer that you've been dead, the less of humanity that you retain. So in the instance of the main character Ren, she died for 178 minutes. In fact, they didn't even think she was gonna wake up. They thought she was dead for sure and put her in a dead room, and then she woke up and she was 12 when she went back to life. And so these reboots are essentially like soldiers. They do the bidding of the government, I guess, and they are in this facility to train because she is not an adult yet. She's only like 17 in this book, but she is ruthless and she trains hard and she's fast and has all the superhuman abilities, and she's given a new trainee who is a 22. So that happened. I really did not like the whole love interest story in this book. I really disliked it. So much to the fact that I read it, I had started it last year and I finished it like in a single sitting. At least I tried to. I just really wanted to get this book done. I didn't like it, but I wanted to finish it to see what was happening. I found myself just skimming to the end. It was really, really not appeasing to me. I ended up giving it a 1 out of 5. Just because okay, spoiler alert, they're like on the run or something, and you know, the guy is just like, oh, can I have a cuddle? Like, it's just not realistic. That's what I felt. I felt the love interest was just not realistic. That's what I have to say about that. The next book I picked up was A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. This book I picked up this month because the random read along is reading it this month. There's a live stream next week. Here's another hyped up book. A lot of booktube is like, you have to read A Court of Thorns and Roses, it's really good, blah blah blah. Basically, it's a retelling of Beauty and the Beast. So that intrigued me. I found this world fascinating. I really like the world with the Fae and the human world and the whole history behind it. I found the relationship part of this really frustrating. The fact that the main character, Feyre, hates the fairy world. She hates everything to do with it. And when she has to go and live with them, she hates them. But all of a sudden, something like switches, and she's like, I just want to run my, it's like the primal urges, like I want to run my hands through your hair, and I just, ugh. I just did not find the relationship between Feyre and Tamlin, the main dude, to be plausible. If anything, she could have been with the other dude, Lucian. I could have seen that. But it was the sudden change of opinion in Feyre. I wanted to chuck this book at the wall. I'd be like, no. I mean, I continued on reading it just to finish it, but it did get better in the end, and I can definitely see that the sequel might be a Persephone Hades retelling because of things that happened. But I ended up giving this book a 2.5 out of 5. I mean, I enjoyed it, but not that much. Like, once you get past the whole part you didn't like, and you kind of had to, like, give into it, be like, okay, well, this is the way things are gonna be. I mean, I have to continue on with the story. Things could have been different, but I didn't hate the book. I just didn't, this is conflicting. It was very conflicting book. The last book I have finished is Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson, and this is about a princess who runs away on the day of her wedding, and 2 men are sent after her, well, one of their own volition, and one of them is the prince that she was supposed to marry, an assassin from another country who's sent to kill her so that she doesn't end up marrying the prince in the end, I guess. But I really enjoyed this book a lot. It took a little bit to get into the book, like a couple days to read the first 30%, and then I read the last 70% in one sitting, so I gave this book a 4 out of 5. I really am going to enjoy picking up Heart of Betrayal next when I can get my hands on it. The book I am currently reading is I Am Malala by Malala Yousafzai. I've started reading this and I'm very intrigued by it. I definitely want to hear the things that she has to say. I think she's a highly intelligent young woman who has had a lot of bad things happen and has lived in a world not like the one that I lived in, and I have to remember sometimes that I take my education for granted when there are so many girls out there who are denied education for whatever reason. And I think she's a young, admirable woman. She's 17 now, so she's been through a lot. So I'm definitely interested in reading the rest of this. So that is my July wrap-up video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!